So you want to change the world. It's somewhat tricky down there, but up here in the Imagisphere, it's easier than changing your easy-peel Velcro trousers. Sculpt, mold, and terraform your level's terrain so it's exactly the world you want it to be, simply by selecting Terrain Edit in your Puppet. You can literally paint your world into being with a virtual brush. There's a number to choose from. Let's select one of the Terrain Sculpt brushes with the Action button. Allow your left stick to channel your creativity into the brush and the directional buttons to rotate or resize it. The R2 and L2 buttons allow for upward and downward strokes. Maybe you'd like to pick a different material to work with from the Edit Terrain menu. Have a browse and pick the material you think best fits your scene. Like the sculpting brush, you hold down the Action button where you want the new material to be applied. I can sense you're going to be a grand master at this. I have a kitchen that needs decorating if you're up for it, cash in hand. If you want to spruce up the tracks you've created at any point, add a few bits and bobs, liquor paint, a quaint death trap or two, etc. Open your Puppet and seek out the Mod Track page of the Track and Arena Edit menu. Painting your stadium of motorized combat puts the do in doodle, as it's simple and fun. Select a new material and start painting with it by holding down the Action button and moving up or down the track with the left stick. You can paint your bridges and fences in the same manner. Incidentally, if you do want to add a quaint death trap, use the Empty Surface Magic Eraser tool to camouflage parts of your track. That'll keep them on their tires. Are you a fine tuner? I don't mean, are you a particularly accomplished fish? Do you like your creations to be ever so perfect? If so, then the horizontal and vertical shift tools are designed just for you. How about installing some tricky S-curves? Open your Puppet and select the horizontal shift tool. Select the portion of track by sliding along it with the left stick and press Action to confirm this is the section you want to alter. The left stick moves the entire section around too, but if you want to move a specific side or edge, use the directional buttons, then the left stick. Remember to action any changes. Bumpy roads are great for shaking things up a bit, so why not create some with the vertical shift tool? It's quite like the horizontal shift tool, except you use up and down with the left stick to lower or lift bits of track. And if you think you've made your track bumpier than a bag full of potholes, you can recreate entire sections with the Re-Roll tool. It's easy. Re-Roll is found in the Track Edit tools, and a track paint roller will appear in your level. Select what you want repaving and action it. Then select the point where the new section will rejoin the track. The track between these 2 points will be deleted, by the way. Press Action to complete the new section and join it with the rest of the track. All done. Shame our town council haven't got one of these gizmos. Mind you, they'd only lose it. If you're not happy with how your level looks, feels and plays, you don't need to scrap it and start again. Oh, goodness me, no. That's why we give you the Global Settings option. The Global Controls page has some rather amazing settings. You can alter the water level of your world, reset the track or terrain or props, heck, the entire level if you want. You can control the number of players required for the level on the Gameplay Settings page. Faff on with the AI difficulty, the team settings, and the conditions for winning. What else? The audio page. Here you can adjust what your level sounds like by tweaking the sound effects, background music, and speech volumes. There's other stuff to play with, like reverb and filters. Go nuts! Be a global DJ. Adjust your level's sunlight, ambient light, and fog levels via the lighting settings. On the backgrounds page, you can choose a new level theme to keep your returning customers guessing. If only you had global settings down there on Earth. It'd make things a dash sight easier, I would have thought. By installing control points in your track, you can exert optimum control over your track's twisty-turny topography. To begin, select the Add or Remove Control Points tool from the Poppet. This enables you to add or delete points along the track by using up and down with the left stick, then pressing the Add or Delete button. So, if you wanted to, I don't know, add a fiendish fork in the road, select the Branches tool in the Edit Track and Arena menu. Move along the track with the left stick. A helpful little flag appears, showing where the beginning of your branch will begin. If you're happy with the spot, press the Place Branch button. You can change which side of your track the branch starts at by pressing the Change Track Edge button, so it works for drivers from any country, even Italy. Once you've placed the start flag for your branch, move along the track to where you want your branch to rejoin the track. Press the Place Branch button again to create the second path. Now, breadcrumbs. No, we're not sticking them to the window to make the birds knock themselves out like my Susan does. These are a different type of breadcrumbs. These breadcrumbs create alternate paths along your track and are best used for small distances and tight curves where branches don't do much. We've included a number of optional extras in the carts for your amusement, so some other extras have had to go. Nothing major. The air freshener shaped like a tree, the floor mats, and the, airbags. But just look at what we've added. A jetpack. It's like giving your cart an atomic 5 a day, all in one go and chucking it off a cliff. You can put a jetpack on your track somewhere for use in a race. They're in the gameplay kit section of your Poppet. Drive over it during a race and the word Zoom suddenly has several thousand letter O's added to it. Until the fuel runs out, that is. There's also a bounce pad extra to be played with. This allows your car to bounce like a healthy young kangaroo the same distance each time you use it. Very handy. This is also in the gameplay kit section of the Poppet and should be placed on the track to be used when you run over it. Alter its settings in the tweak menu first to get it just how you want it. Height and angle, for example, will always bounce in the direction your cart is facing. Worth bearing in mind, that. Another cool extra is the launch pad. When triggered, it sends you and your trolley flying through the air, but lands you in the same place every time. Again, it's in the gameplay kit section of Poppet, and you should tweak it to adjust the distance and height of your mighty bound. Good stuff. See how we think of you. I'd like to say use these devices wisely, but where would the fun in that be? Here's something I'd like you to grapple with. How amazing would it be to grab hold of objects in your levels? To come to grips with them and control them? To, essentially, grapple with them and win? Well, you can. If you have an object you'd like to manipulate, the first thing you need is a grapple hook power-up. There are two basic grapplers, the wonderful grapple hook and the delightful grapple sponge. They reside in the Gameplay Kit page found in the Tools bag menu. Place the grapple hook in your level, preferably a place you can easily run into it. Then put the grapple sponge in close proximity, floating in the air like a plane that's run out of fuel. Add a boost pad if you want to, but it's not vital. Now, once you drive through the grapple hook power-up, you'll be able to grapple onto the sponge and swing like a half-mad Tarzan. It's perhaps worth noting that grapple sponges are for swinging purposes only, but they do have great tweak menus so you can alter the height and distance of the swinginess. If you're not in a swingy mood, have a go with a grappleizer. They're enormous fun too. A grappleizer is an object tweaker device that makes things grapply, so you can grapple with them. Liven up any old object by putting a grappleizer on it, and then you can use a grapple hook to do what you flipping well want with it. Okay, so now you can grapple with things. All well and good, but by placing a grapple sensor on an object, a signal will be emitted when the grappling is being done, there in the sensors section of your poppet. Up here, we couldn't just keep... Let the sack race begin, as it's time for your first foray into imagikarting. There are mild perils to be faced in the shape of those pesky hoarders. Scoundrels to a man. Well, aren't you the natural-born kart connoisseur? You certainly put the pedal to the metal there, didn't you? And you hugged those turns like they were favorite teddies. Amazing. If you want to master any level you visited, you can, by all means.